Hey everyone, it's Theo here. This is how to make your own goddess statue class or lesson. It's something that crafty and fun to do. I'm no expert in making these, but I've made my own goddess statue or toe, earth buddy, clay friend in Korean. So I've made this years ago and it's been on my altar. And so many people have asked me, where did you buy it? You should make it and sell it. There are some of these goddess figurines or statue that you can make, you could have for your altar online, but I didn't want to pay so much money for it. So I went ahead and made it, and it's been with me for many years. So I thought I will share it with you how to make it. So if you guys are feeling really creative and crafty, you guys can do it. Just want to give you a little bit of background on this statue. Let me share screen on, yeah, maybe this. So let me give you some examples of, can you guys see me on this? So these are some examples of statues that's available for sale. So this one is colored and decorated. Oh, come on, I can't. This one is kind of with some really cool witchy design up top. I also found, if you did, God, I can't, okay, let me just move this a little. There we go. So these are some of the example of items that's for sale on Amazon and Etsy. I really like this one. Looks very similar to the one I made, and it's more detailed. So you can kind of look for examples and inspiration online. I do want to show you what I said toe. This is some of my ancestors, like, so ancient Korean dynasty called Silla dynasty that was around from 2000 years ago to 1000 years ago, have these figurines, and so you could see like animals and people, and these are called to'u, earth friend. And it's like really cool. There are people who are having sex, making love, people who are playing music and dancing. So it's a lot of fun. This is a woman grieving in front of a body, like a corpse. And this is a woman who's giving birth. So I think that there's been a tradition of these type of, stop share. Let me see, stop share. These figurines, and the reason though I have these because I have it on my altar. I have hematite crystal ball. The way I made this statue, I want to show you here, is to have it on my altar, and then you could replace crystals or any item that you want to be part of the ritual here. So it has a tray that you could replace. You could replace different crystal that you want to amplify energy. You could even put, I don't know, like you could put your like jewelry here and like put it, through the ritual. So I really like the idea of having this compartment where you could put different small items for a ritual. So anyway, so I'm going to just show it to you really quickly. So I showed you, let me just look at my list. Yeah, so this is mine. I'm going to show you how to make it similar to that. So what you need is oven baked clay, Sculpey or any type of a craft store oven baked clay. I use white, but if you want to be fancy, there are different colors available. Make sure that you follow direction on this, on how to bake it to make it kind of really hard, durable clay. So oven baked clay, and then you need some type of bone structure. So to make it steady, once it bakes, it's pretty sturdy, but while you're making it to hold shape, you need to have some type of bone structure. So that could be any type of a wire, aluminum foil that you can kind of roll in like a wire. I'm using these bread ties because I like them because you don't need a wire cutter. You could kind of bend it and double it. And so I use the bread ties. You could also use toothpicks, but it doesn't have the bend that you want. So you need the oven baked clay, bone structure, some type of bone structure, some type of a tool. Again, I'm not an expert. So if you ever, I have a plastic knife, but if you have a fancy tool, you can use a tool. And then the last item you need is I have a diaper wipe because your hands should be clean at all time. And then the surface that you're working on has to be clean. Now, you don't want to work on a surface that's porous or like fancy furniture because this clay can get stuck on it and can either stain your furniture or make residue. So right now I'm living in a hotel room, as you guys know, and this is a metal desk. So I'm okay and I have a wipe, but you guys might want to work on have a like protective, like a plastic tray or some type of a white sheet of paper that's clean. So you want to make sure you're working on a clean surface. So I'm kind of wiping clean surface and clean hands. So your hands has to be clean. And that's it. And most important thing, and the optional thing is having some type of a crystal. I've made one other goddess statue that was very similar to like the one that's kind of going hands like this. And I put in on the body of the goddess statue, I put a flat green aventurine crystal on it. So it actually had like embedded crystal on it. So there are a lot of things you can do if you want to be creative. So you could have some type of a crystal accessory as an option. And as you saw some sample, if you are a good painter, you want to paint it and decorate it, you could have craft paint or acrylic paint. After it bakes, you could paint it, you could color it. So that's optional. Okay, so I want to show it to you how to make that. I was hoping some of you guys will be doing this live, so we could kind of troubleshoot and do as we go, but nobody showed up on the live class, so I'm here by myself. So it'll be quick. It's been a while. Again, guys, I'm not an expert, so I don't know how to, I'm just kind of winging it. I figured I made 2 of these so far, and what's the most important thing in my point is clean hands and clean surface, number 1. Number 2 is the neck. I'll show it to you. The neck and the spine and the boobs. I feel like those are the most important thing. When I first made it, make sure that your goddess has a neck, and make sure there is some bone structure that helps with the spine, and then make sure the boobs look realistic. I think that's important. So I'm gonna try, first of all, I'm gonna just do really rough one because I don't wanna take too long. So let's say, so I have head of a goddess. If you wanna do hair, you could do hair, whatever. You could do hair if you want to. And then I have body. Now for the body, remember I said you need neck and a spine. Make sure, so you connect this head to the body, see how there is no neck. So make sure we want to make sure that we have a neck. So I'm gonna use the bread tie. We wanna give neck. I'm just gonna be really quick and then give it a neck. This isn't pretty because I don't want to take too much time, but you get the idea. So make sure you use the tool to give neck. Because without the neck, it's not going to look human. You know, it's not going to look like goddess. Just spend some time making sure that she looks more human. And when you think about the spine, right? The spine goes from back of her head all the way. So that's what I meant. But the next important thing is the spine. Like anatomically, so half the spine, I'm gonna just kind of put the bone structure, make it a little harder. And the spine goes from back of her head down the body, right? So I'm gonna make sure that this bone structure goes all the way through. So that's her back. See, I have her from the back of her neck through the spine. I want to show you. Yeah, it's the straight spine. And then just kind of spine. I don't want to take too long, but the spine, neck, and body. So I'm getting to that portion to be, and I need the base where it's gonna sit. So you want to pretty this up, but essentially this is it, right? The base. And then this is her butt, right? The spine goes down. So we want to give her a little bit of meat on the butt. Maybe I'll make it into, if you want to do skirt, if you want to make a dress, if you want to make a robe, if you want to make it fancy, I'm just showing you really basic. So the neck, the back of the neck to the spine, all the way down to the back of the body and the base. And then if you want to make a tray like I did, what I do is make a little bowl. And then I drop this, I want you to show, I want to drop this down like this. Use the whatever crystal you want it to, and then make a bowl like this. And then you take it out and then you put it on. This is really primitive right now because I want to be fast and I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so that's the dish. More legs, more arms. Now arms. What I did with these, I just rolled the arms like this. And then had it kind of going like this, folding. But you could probably do something like this. Like that. Mine looks like a sixth grader, I mean, like 6-year-old made it, but you get the idea. Use the tool, use your hand to make it, but you get the idea. So back up the head, back up the neck, spine. This side, I probably need more clay here to make it as smooth as like the spine to butt, right? And then the base, I just use my hand to smooth these out. So I'm gonna probably smooth these backside out, but smooth this backside out. Give you the close up. And then front, I have a dish that I want to have a little offering. When it's hard and baked, I could put the offerings on. So have something holding on like this and make sure the arms go that way. Remember I said the neck, spine, the boobs, because if you see some of the conventional one, I've seen where people have put boobs like 2 circles, and then they put boobs like that. They have boobs like that, but I'm like, who has boobs like this? That's like too perky and too round. So that's what I mean by boobs are most important, because you do want to make the shape of boobs more realistic, So I'm gonna try to make it. So I've seen some statues that sell in the market or be out there that looks like two spears like that. But once I have it like this, I'll use the tool to maybe I could show, shape it. Use your own boobs as a guide, or how do they look? So shaping the boobs, so making boobs like that. I'll show you can you see? More kind of, more like, instead of this, kind of little shapely. So spend the time to make the boobs look more realistic. So you get the idea. And then what I'll do, if I were really making this as a final product, I'll be smoothing this using my hand, using the tool to smooth these connections like that. Can you see? Using the knife to smooth out the connection part. See, there's the back of her. And the key to this toe or earth body is it's very pretty primitive looking. It doesn't have to be perfect, because the key is not to make it look like it came out of the factory. You want it to look like it's kind of handmade, because our ancestors made figurines like this thousands of years ago, and they used their hands and very primitive tools. So, yep. It looks terrible, but if you get the idea. This looks like she has really short neck. So what I would do is try to lengthen her necks a little bit, shape her face, shape her boobs. Her arms are crushing because I don't have any bone structure in it. So I would recommend you having bone structure like red tie and having this around it like this will help the limbs to hold the shape better because now she has bones. So how you see how this arm kind of crushed in because of the gravity, having bone structure for her limb will allow the shape to stay. So use the bone structure for her arm, her limbs. That way you'll be able to shape it and you'll hold the shape better. See, this arm got all mushed in. Here, let me show you on this. This hand got mushed in. So this one has bone structure, so it'll hold it better. Yep. So that's it, guys. I know it's not, I don't want you to just watch this and watch me doing it all the way to the end, but I want you to have the idea. Once you have it done, you know, it's an oven baked clay, so you do want to bake it in the oven. There's a, it's bake at 275 degrees for 15 minutes per quarter an inch thickness. So this is pretty thick. So that may mean 15 minutes. So might need a good hour or even more than an hour. So what you want to do is, right, because that's pretty 1 inch, 2 inch, about 2 inches thickness. So I would probably bake it for good, what is it, 2 hours and see how hard it gets. And I keep checking the state of the oven clay. I put it on the baking sheet and then stick in the oven and bake. And that's it, guys. So now I hope if you guys have any question after watching it, message me and I could answer them for you. So I hope you guys have fun with it. And if you do make it and put it on your altar, please take a picture and tag me so I can see how they look. Have fun, guys. Bye.